Welcome everybody to RLN for tonight's broadcast from the Brickyard at Indianapolis for race number 8 of the mid-2015 Red Light Xfinity Series.
Wrong room.
This will be the final race of the regular season. After tonight, the top 8 drivers and points will go to the 4-race chase for the championship. I'm your host, Jeremy Patterson. Mike wasn't able to make it tonight, but he may be able to drop in later. We'll keep an ear out for him and hope that he can join us. So tonight's race, we have 60 laps here at Indianapolis, 2.5-mile track, very flat track, 12-degree banking, 75-mile-per-hour pace speed, 60-mile-per-hour pit speed. Temperature 78 degrees. We got partly cloudy skies. Drivers are set up for 50% fuel, and each driver has one quick reset. So if they run into trouble, they can get a quick reset, get a new car, and get out there on the track. But they only get to do it once. So it kind of plays into the strategy quite a bit. Let's have a look at our top 10 in season points right now. Sean Butler leads the way. He moved up to first place after last week with another win. Max Terrio, Keith Haney, John Pershing Jr., David Howard Jr., all 5 of those guys have wins. So 7 races, 5 winners. Pretty good spread there. And moving down the list, we got Joshua Buckley, Nate LaFleur, Timothy Lewis, Jamie Christensen, and James Haney. Those are your top 10. Now, after tonight's race, only the top 8 will make it into the chase. That's a 4-week chase we have to the championship. So you'll see those guys at the bottom battling for position. And we'll see how it plays out, but I see that qualifying has completed now, so we'll go down to the grid here in just a bit and check in with the drivers. And have a look at your qualifying order there. David Howard Jr. takes pole with a 52.279, so congratulations to David Howard. Keith Haney comes in a close second. Keith Haney now, he has won the last 2 weeks here at Red Light. And he also has a win over there at NASCAR. So Keith Haney is on quite a hot streak right now. He's moved himself up into 3rd place in points. So I am excited to watch him and see how it turns out tonight for him. Either way, he's pretty much guaranteed a spot in the chase, so congratulations to Keith. Very tough track here. It's if you saw, just look at that little picture there on your bottom left-hand side of your screen. It's kind of square shaped. It's not really an oval. It's 4 90-degree turns, and the drivers were talking earlier about how it's kind of a tight setup that they have. So very difficult. They have to back up their entry into the turn quite a bit, and if they try to push too hard going into the turn, it will push them up into the wall. So kind of risky move there if you want to try to get that last little bit out of your run on the straightaway. Drivers are rolling off now. We'll go ahead and run you through the grid here. In row 1, we have pole sitter David Howard. Next to him is 2-time winner Keith Haney. Row 2, we have William Long and Timothy Lewis. Row 3, joining us for the first time in quite a while, is the number 9 of William Kirk and the number 15 of John Pershing. Row 4, we have Max Terrio and Jamie Christensen. Row 5, James Skelton and Dustin Phillips. Row 6, we have Butch Frazier and Ivan Jones. Row 7 is Joshua Butler and Kevin Cochran. Row 8, Daniel Haney and James Haney. Row 9, we have Andrew Packer and Mike Mahoney. Row 10, Sean Butler and Joshua Buckley. And rounding out your grid, Kevin O'Brien and Philip Bundick. Nice big grid we got here tonight. 22 drivers. Excited to watch this. Pace car's bringing them around. We will be going green here very shortly. And one thing you'll notice here, there is a road for pit entry and pit exit, so you'll see the drivers taking that. They can't just come flying off of turn 4 and dive down into the pit road. They have to take that little side road you see there on your left. That can make it really, really tricky getting into pit road. You don't want to lose speed, but if you get into that grass, man, you're done. Pace car ducks off. We're ready to go. Green flag is out at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Keith Haney gets an excellent start there on the outside and makes it right around David Howard right on the first turn. Looking back for 3rd and 4th, you got the 911 of William Long and the 4 of Timothy Lewis. Timothy's running a new paint scheme tonight. He's got that Sons of Anarchy black car. It looks pretty sharp. Ooh, but William Long loses a lot of ground in turn 3. Meanwhile, up front, David Howard is not letting Keith Haney go too easily. A little further back in the field, got some side-by-side racing with a 986. That's James Skelton, and he's next to the number 8 of Jamie Christensen. Jamie does not get a good run off of turn 2 and loses a couple of spots there. Looks like the 953 of Ivan Jones gets right around him, and now the 99 of Joshua Butler's threatening him for that spot. And that just goes to show, you know, if you dive into a turn just a little too hard or you make a little mistake with how long these straightaways are, man, it can really kill you. Back up front, Keith Haney, David Howard still pretty close together. Now David's getting a little bit of a draft off of Keith there. Let's go on board with David and see his point of view here. You see going through turn 1, now it straightens out again. And then you get another 90-degree left, and that takes you to the backstretch. So very unique track here. Max Terrio looks to the inside of the 15 of John Fershing. He's going to take away 6th position. Tell you what, there's been a lot of good passing going on so far. Early in the race, we're only a few laps in, and man, they are passing like crazy. Still side-by-side battle with Max Terrio and John Fershing. Ooh, Terrio gets really far down on the apron there. That can really loosen the car up. Like I said earlier, these cars are really tight. But, man, you get on the apron and it will bring the back end right around on you. Now James Skelton looking to make a move on Max Terrio. And Max might just be saving his tires. Max is one of those drivers who's just kind of always there at the end, and he keeps himself consistent. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's just saving right now. He's not really going to battle too hard for 4 laps in out of 60. Oh, Mike Mahoney gets loose coming off of 4. Does a great job of hanging on to it. Almost gets into the 84 of Kevin O'Brien. Great job, Mike, hanging on to that. That was almost disaster. And it looks like Skelton did make his way around Max Terrio. Further up in the field, we got a 3-way battle for 3rd between Timothy Lewis, William Kirk, and William Long.
Looks like I didn't miss much for lap 5 of 60. Good to join you here.
Yeah, great to have you, Mike. Going great so far. We've had a lot of good passing. Still some close racing all around the track, but they've done a good job of getting themselves sorted out here.
Yeah, Brickyard's always a fun track for me. I enjoy watching races here. It's a little bit different than the other places we go to.
Yeah, sure.
Excited to see how these guys do too wide. It's definitely a little bit more difficult here.
Yeah, it sure is. David Howard just took a peek to the inside of the 87 of Keith Haney, looking for that pass for the lead, maybe, but didn't quite get in there. Yeah, definitely one thing I've seen, Mike, is one little mistake can really, really cost you a lot of time here because these straightaways are so long.
Yeah, it's definitely about getting a good run off the turn and carrying it all the way through those long straights.
Side by side for the lead between David Howard and Keith Haney. Let's see if David Howard has enough of a run down this front stretch here. They are definitely in a drag race.
Yeah, nose and nose. Looks like Haney just gave up the position there. Smart move here.
Yeah, definitely. Save your stuff. Save it for another time. Haney knows he's fast, and he knows he's got a good shot at it, so no reason to press the issue here. So it looks like our pit window is right around lap 16 to 18. So almost halfway through our first round of pit stops if it stays green here.
Hoping these guys did some practice and getting in and off using those entryways here. A little bit different than most tracks we go to.
Yeah, I was talking about that a little bit here at the beginning. It's one of those things where, you know, you don't want to lose time on that little side road, but man, if you push it too far and you hit that grass, brother, you're done.
Yeah, it'd be super easy. Totally flat surface there. Spin it out pretty easily.
Yeah, it sure is. A little further back in the field, we still got some really close battling with the 945 of Mike Mahoney. Daniel Haney's right behind him, and Kevin O'Brien. Oh, Mahoney gets into the wall hard. Oh, is that going to bring out a caution or not? I don't know. He's on the track. Caution is out. Wow, that was a tough wreck. Let's have a look at the replay there. And like I was saying earlier, you know, it's a tight track. If you push too hard, you get into the wall. That's exactly what happened. Unfortunately, the 930 of Daniel Haney was right there. Couldn't get it slowed down in time, and that just sent the 945 right into the inside wall. Mike Mahoney tore up pretty bad, but he has this quick reset, so I think he's going to have to use that now because it looks like his engine is pretty much done.
Yeah, I think it just shows on, you know, you get out of your line and you're used to getting on the gas at a certain time, but if you get a little bit too high on that exit and get into the gas at the same time, it'll just run you right into the wall.
Yeah, and really the only thing you can do there, which we saw Jamie Christensen do earlier, is you just got to come completely off the gas and you're going to lose several positions, but you know, you just kind of have to accept that's going to happen. It's the lesser of two evils, I guess.
Yeah, the only thing he had going for him on that one was that it was the short shoot, so if he had gotten off the gas, he would have been into a corner pretty quick there. It would have been a lot worse coming off and doing the full long shoot.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what happened to Jamie earlier. We saw him coming out of turn 2, and I think he lost 3 spots all at once, and you know, it's just that thing, though. You don't want to lose those spots, but it's better than getting into the wall, and sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So David Howard up in front now when the caution comes out. We'll see if anybody goes for a pit here.
Yeah, being lap 9, I figure we'll see these guys come in here. Yeah.
Yeah, we sure do. See everybody come down in. You know, they're halfway to their fuel run anyway, and you know, we saw how long it stayed green. With it being such a big track, it's easy to get spread out, and you know, you don't know if it's going to stay green or if you're going to get a lucky caution in there. Nice big full pit lane. We've got 22 drivers in the race tonight. Nice to see that. Oh, it looked like the 989, I think of Butch Frazier completely misses pit stall and had to put it in reverse and back up into it. That's going to cost him quite a bit.
Some mess of cars coming off pit road right where they all get in line, get on that roadway. It looks like they'll be okay. Yeah,
it can get pretty hairy out there. You get that many cars, it's a little scary leaving your pit box sometimes. So Andrew Packer, who was fastest in practice, did not pit. I don't believe he was a lap down, so he just stayed out just for position. Keith Haney did get out in front of David Howard, so he'll be starting second.
It'd be interesting to see how the tires do, you know, 10 laps in, and now they got a 10 laps different in tires. We'll see what kind of pace he can keep here. He might be trying to figure out, you know, late in the race, do I want to take two, do I want to stay out? And he can use this as a way to gauge what his car is like compared to everybody else.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to do any experimenting, early in the race is when you do it. You don't want to be trying to reinvent the wheel in the last 20 laps. I've learned that lesson many a time. And last night we ran our wrenching and racing series street stocks at Lanier Speedway, and I made that exact mistake. I pitted kind of late, took a couple of tires, hoping it would help me out, and made my car all kinds of loose, and I wasn't even able to finish the race. It got so bad. So yeah, don't be trying to experiment or reinvent the wheel right there at the end.
Yeah, we had a pretty good turnout there yesterday. What did you think of that race overall?
I loved it. It was really great. We had a really clean race too. There were a couple of incidents. We had a small handful of cautions. I want to say 3 or 4 cautions out of 180 laps, and you know, not good for a slower driver on short tracks like me because I got lapped several times. But it was really good. Everyone was really just respectful of the other drivers, and it's fun racing a short track with a car like a street stock with other drivers you can trust. I really like that.
Yeah, I love that, you know, right from the server going up, we had 10 people there, you know, just 2 hours of tuning and learning, and I want to see that next week. Hopefully we get a good turnout there as well.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know too much about setups. I know, you know, a little bit. I know the basics, and I learned a few things yesterday. Some of the drivers were in there telling me, hey, this does this, and this does this, so it's exciting for me because I've been on here for such a long time, and I've just never really learned setups, so I'm kind of liking to learn that little black magic there.
Yeah, it's definitely a secret that some people, you know, they have the key to, and, you know, being the league setups that we're in, we're going to get these guys talking about it and teaching, so, you know, it's exciting.
Yeah, definitely. So lights are off on the pace car. Drivers are doubled up. Pace car's going to duck into pit road, and we'll be ready to go green here again on lap 11 going into lap 12. Green flag is out. Keith Haney gets a great start there on the outside and shoots right past William Packer. So yeah, I think those tires did make a difference. William Kirk went right around him. Here comes John Fershing. So Packer kind of getting just almost run over here. And here comes the 986 of James Skelton. Look at him, just picking him off. Fershing's going to come with him underneath.
Oh.
Oh, wow. And Packer gets into the wall hard. He hangs onto it. Flags stay green. Good job, everybody, getting around him there, because he was right in the race line, too, on that short shot. Side-by-side racing here between the number 7 of David Howard and the 42 of Max Terrio. Now it's David and Tim Lewis. Well, David is on the move too. Behind them, you got Buckley and Long battling for 9th.
So now that these guys are all in line, you know, as a driver, where are you making your pass here? Where do you want to see the cars in front of you, and what kind of moves are you setting up?
Honestly, I think right now it's just keep pressure on the driver in front of you and try to. I almost think it's a mental game. Get him to try to dive in just a little bit earlier on entry, and you're guaranteed to pass him.
Yeah, I think if you can also get a run off the quarter and pull up side by side on one of those long stretches, especially if you can get on the inside, you're usually setting them up to let you take that corner.
Yeah, no doubt. But such a move like that definitely takes a lot of you got to plan it ahead of time, because you really have to make your entry a lot earlier than you typically would if you want to do that. Keith Haney up front has a nice, commanding 1 second lead over second place William Kirk. And William Kirk, of course, he's one of our original drivers here at Red Light. He hasn't been able to participate a whole lot lately. A lot of things he has to take care of at home and at work and whatnot, but we're glad to have him back with us tonight and hope to see him on the track with us a little more often. Side by side between the two of Joshua Buckley and the 99 of Joshua Butler. Looks like they got a little sorted out there. But now Butler has a 911 of William Long fighting him, and he gets right around Butler. Kevin O'Brien looks to the inside. Nope, gets back in line. He's right behind Dustin Phillips. Almost had enough of a run to get around him, but didn't quite make it.
James Haney almost lost it off the corner. He collects the car pretty well. Get back on the track there, but he looked real loose exiting.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of really good saves tonight. Oh, Kevin O'Brien might be going for a pass here. He does get his nose inside. Not sure he's going to get quite into the turn far enough. Nope, not quite. Dustin outbreaks him going into turn one. Kevin's working on him though. I think he's gonna try and get that spot here shortly.
Yeah, I think he's just got to get just a little bit better run there, and he can complete that pass. So he's got to try that again. He'll gauge his lines and try and suck up a little bit better next time. He's just learning. He'll definitely get by him if he keeps it up though.
Yeah, he sure will. A little further up front, we got a good close four-way battle for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Actually, 8th place is right there behind him too, Joshua Buckley. Buckley really getting his nose up into this now. Oh, he's going to take it 3 wide on the inside. No, they're sorted out now. Buckley had a hell of a run coming out of turn 4. Oh, so close to Max Terrio. Terrio backs out. Very smart move by Max. Max had the run, but he said, you know what, this ain't worth it. He backed off. Yeah, Buckley.
Jamie had the save of the race there, coming off just while we were watching that battle. Jamie came off turn 4 there, almost hit the inside wall, saved it sideways, and back on the track. Crazy save.
Timothy Lewis leads this pack right now, starting with 5th, working his way back. There's a whole group of cars wanting that position. Let's go on board with Max Terrio. You can see this battle playing out ahead of him, and he's not sure if he wants to get his nose up into it or not. And Buckley gets around Tim Lewis, and Terrio's going to try and come with him. He's just about got him cleared.
It actually looks like he's going to try and get inside there. Buckley there too.
So these guys last pitted on lap, what was it, 9 or 10, and that puts us right about halfway to our next stop. So if it stays green, they're going to have to do a green flag pit stop here. I'm hoping we get to see that tonight. Should be pretty exciting with these pit entry and exit roads.
Now, do they have to take the entry road, or can they just dive in off the straightaway?
I'm pretty sure they have to take the entry road. Man, Max Terrio is not letting Buckley go by easy. He wants that spot. It's hard to get in there, though. And right now, from Max Terrio's point of view, this is what I was talking about, where you just almost try to forget about that driver in front of you, and you're just battling the track, and eventually that other driver is going to mess up because he's going to be paying attention to you in his mirror, and that might have been it right there. Oh no, Terrio stays behind him and backs off a little bit. I thought Terrio was going to have a run.
I think maybe he just closed up so quick he didn't know what to do with it there.
Yeah, it's possible. But here he goes, he's looking to the inside. Oh, he's got a nose in, not quite. Now he's got it. There goes Buckley.
Yeah, Buckley definitely gave him that position. That was, you know, with that short shoot, it's much harder to make a pass like that.
Yeah, it really is. Pretty impressive stuff. Now Tim Lewis is going to start working on Joshua Buckley, but here comes 911 of William Long looking to the inside of Tim Lewis. Not quite there, almost had it. Go back to your leaders here real quick. Keith Haney still leads the way. He's led 19 laps so far. William Kirk is not far behind him, about a 0.4 second difference.
Yeah, it looks like he's definitely gaining on him here.
Yeah, and William Kirk, he's a very strong driver, so not too surprised to see him, you know, after a long hiatus, come back and really kind of put the pressure on these guys. Of course, he doesn't really have a run at the championship or the chase or anything, but still wants to, you know, it's always nice to get a win in there. And yeah, he is right on William Kirk now. I'm sorry, right on Keith Haney. Go on board with William Kirk. See how he's managing these turns. Try and get the drop on Keith.
Listen to the RPM, it sounds like you almost want to downshift. It's really right on that cusp.
Yeah, you do have to come off it quite a bit. And you can see on his tach there, he's getting just under 7,000 RPM. Yeah, he got clear down to about 6,800 RPM right there in turn 4. But look at this run he's got on Haney. Let's see if he can make something happen with it. He looks to, oh, almost looks to the inside. Maybe not.
He's setting him up here for a good exit off too. Oh, he let him go there.
Yeah, he's waiting for the right moment to strike. I think he knows he's got him. He's got the speed. He's just got to wait for the right moment. And that's, you know, when we talk about patience, that's what it's all about right there. Is waiting for the right moment, not trying to take it earlier than you have to.
Yeah, really, there's no need at this point. You know, he can do some testing, like we said earlier. We got 35 laps to go. When it comes down to, you know, 10, 15 laps, then we're gonna start seeing moves being made. But, you know, we still got to pit a couple more times. These guys are gonna be thinking about that real soon here.
Yeah, definitely. We're coming up on that here very shortly. Oh, William Kirk
as we say that,
goes to the inside. Drag race down the front stretch. He's going to be side by side by the time they get into the turn. Oh, they make contact. Haney moves up a little bit. They both hold it together. Oh, wow. I don't think either driver was trying to be too aggressive there. They just both went for the same spot of track.
Yeah, you got two damaged cars. They're not going to handle quite as good in the on those straights here.
Let's have a look at the replay here. Yeah, you can see they just went for a different line. I think Keith Haney had more of a dive-in low line, and Kirk had more of just a wide rolling line, and they both went for the same section of track. I'm very glad they were completely side by side when that happened. That could have been a disaster. Never good to see the leaders win. Oh, and here we have Keith Haney passing Kirk on the, okay, I think they're both coming into pit road. Keith just came in a little bit faster.
You know, you're calling for your window here. We got damaged cars. You might as well come and use that quick repair, get your tires now.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I was wrong on what I said earlier. They are able to bypass that entry road. Yeah, they can just dive in off the front stretch. I couldn't remember if you could or not. I thought that in Indy you had to take the road. I thought I'd been penalized on that in the past, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think the cars, the open wheel cars, have to take the road, but it looks like, well, we'll find out here what happens. But exit, I know they have to roll both corners.
So
on the.
Yeah, they definitely have to on exit. So pretty much every driver pitting on the same lap, and we did see William Kirk take a quick repair there. He had a lot of damage on his right front, and now it's cleared up. Now he's used up his quick repair, so he has to keep it clean the rest of the time. Kevin O'Brien comes down pit road with Ivan Jones. And Kevin actually got marked for leading that lap, so good job by Kevin. Gets that bonus point for leading a lap. And with Kevin sitting 11th in points right now, he really needs every point that he can get if he wants to try to make it into that chase. So Keith Haney comes out back up front. He's got William Kirk just behind him. And Keith had a bit of a better pit stop. His pit time was 14.3. William Kirk's was 15 seconds. So Keith Haney gained a little bit there on pit road. Joshua Buckley and Tim Lewis battling again for 8th. Buckley barely Barely squeezes in behind him. I thought the two were going to make contact. Tim Lewis gets around, and now Buckley's got a little bit of catching up to do.
Max Terrio has definitely put some pressure on James Skelton there for fourth place.
Yeah, he sure is. He looks to the inside coming down the front stretch. He's barely got a nose in. We'll see how it turns out going into the turn. Skelton goes real wide, gives him the position. And now he's got David Howard right on his tail. David's on the inside. And he's going to take it in turn 2. Now we see Pershing going to pass Skelton. So what happened to Skelton just now, I think, is exactly what we saw happen to Jamie Christensen earlier. Is one little mistake, and it follows you through a couple of turns and down that long straightaway, and it's just really difficult to recover from it.
Yeah, especially when they're following you underneath. It's really, you know, you kind of take the high line to let that car underneath you, but you end up opening up the door for, you know, the cars behind them as well. It's tough to let one car by.
Yeah, it sure is. Usually when you let one by, you're letting a couple more go with them, and they'll just kind of sneak in there on you anyway. Further back, we have Butch Frazier trying to take the 14th position away from Daniel Haney. Butch looks to the inside, side by side, coming out of turn 3. And he does make the pass clean. Butch sent me his picture there about 5 minutes before the race started, so I was racing to try and get his picture up onto our broadcaster relays prior to starting the race, but I managed to get it on there, so you see our driver, Butch Frazier. He's actually a NASCAR driver, isn't that right?
Yeah, he's been over there for at least a season and a half. Like to see him racing here as well. It's cool.
Now, at NASCAR, his number is 555. He's the only NASCAR driver with a 3-digit number who's not a rookie. What's the story behind that?
He 555 is his number, and when he first joined the league, I wouldn't give it to him because I couldn't give him the 955. So maybe he did run the 955, I don't remember. But when he graduated into the league, he requested a 3-digit 555, and that's what he's running with.
All right, I just had to ask. I was always curious. I saw him. I almost wondered if it was a mistake. It was supposed to be a 955.
No, apparently that number has been with him for a while, so he likes to see it, and I was happy to give it to him.
So a little further up front, Max Terrio has worked his way into the 3rd position now. And Max is currently 2nd in points and has a win under his belt. So one of our best and strongest drivers here at Red Light.
Yeah, we say it every week. He's definitely consistent. You know, he might not be racing for the win every week, but he's definitely racing for a top 5. And you know, he's running some pretty quick times here. About the same pace as the leader. 2nd place looks a little bit quick that last lap, but I'm sure these guys will be battling for it by the time we get down to it.
And leader Keith Haney still has a good solid 1-second lead on 2nd place William Kirk. And they have a huge gap between themselves and 3rd place and Max Terrio. You can see them coming out of turn 4 there.
Yeah, the leaders are definitely swapping that fastest lap. The previous laps back and forth right now. They're almost on it to a 10th, so we'll see what these guys do. I think William is just sniffing that draft, so if he gets any closer, he'll be sucking up on those straightaways.
So all of our drivers last pitted on lap 28, so another 10 laps or so, and we'll see him pitting again here. Yeah, that 50% fuel, I really like it. I like running it. That's that's what we run at NASCAR as well. And as a driver, I really like it. If you do a full tank of fuel, chances of a green flag pit stop are pretty slim. So it really forces you to learn how to do those pit stops properly.
Yeah, it's definitely an important part of racing, especially in these upper levels. You got to know how to get on and off pit road and how to hit your marks and get into your box quick and get out of your box quick. So I think it just adds that dimension for sure. And yeah, you're right. With these shorter races that we're running, it just has us pitting, almost the same amount that they would in the real races. And you're right. Like if we were running full takes, we'd be getting cautions, and they wouldn't be doing it. So I think it just definitely brings an extra element to the race, which I definitely enjoy watching.
Yeah, it sure does. And once again, a little further back, we got Dustin Phillips and Kevin O'Brien battling hard. We saw those two battling it out earlier. And Dustin is the owner of NASCAR, is that correct?
Yes, he is.
Kevin right on his bumper. He's getting a little bit of a draft. I don't think he's going to try and pass him. He just wants to get that draft there.
Yeah, I heard, I'm pretty sure I heard Kevin talking about how if it goes green for the rest of the race, it's going to be tight on fuel. And, he might be trying to save a little bit by getting on his bumper there and drafting.
That's possible. I know Kevin likes to play the fuel game sometimes. So we'll see how it pans out for him. Up front, William Kirk is closing that gap. He's now just about a quarter of a second, a little less behind leader Keith Haney. I think Kirk may have hit the wall a little bit there, coming out of 3, but doesn't lose a whole lot of ground.
Looks like Kirk might be a little bit stronger on the longer run. Keith Haney definitely went on fresh tires. He was much quicker. But I think as the tires wear out and they start to equalize, looks like Kirk might just be a little bit quicker.
Yeah, he's definitely putting the pressure on. That's for sure. He's down to. He's got it back down to a quarter of a second again after his little mishap with the wall. So yeah, I think you're right. He's got him in the long run, but we say long run, we're coming down to less than 10 laps before we're pitting again. David Howard, Max Terrio fight hard for third. And a couple drivers coming down pit lane already. Kevin Cochran and John Pershing, looks like.
Yeah, I think we'll see guys try and stretch it. You said the pit window is about 15 laps, right?
Yeah, I think they said 16 to 18.
So these guys might just try and push it, 3-4 more laps if they can. They don't want to be pitting 2 more times if they don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with the way, what this race has been playing out, there's going to be long green flag runs, so you really can't risk pitting and you can't hope for that caution because there's a good chance it might not come. We are down to 20 laps to go. Yeah, and like you said, if they can stretch it a couple more laps here, they can pit for fuel one more time. They'd have to stretch it again on that second run, but I think they'd be able to make it work. Now, these leaders last pitted on lap 28, which means they've gone...
Yeah, 28 would put them at a 16-lap window, so...
Yep.
I believe. How many laps is this race?
We're at 60 laps for the race, but 19 to go.
Right, okay.
So, if they can knock that down to 18 or 17 laps to go before they pit, they probably could make it till the end.
Yeah, radios are definitely real quiet right now. I think, you know, drivers don't want to kind of tip their hat or show their hand, as they say, and want to kind of just jump in last minute and see what these guys do.
Yeah, I ran a Indy league with some of these guys before. I know David Howard was one of them, Sean Butler, and fuel on Indy cars is so important. I mean, just the weight. If you get just a gallon too much of fuel. Oh, Haney into the wall hard. That's going to give William Kirk the pass. Did you see that?
Yeah, he's got quite a bit of damage there.
He's going to have to pit now.
Yep, that's going to...
Yeah, that might kill him on fuel. He might still be able to make it. We'll see. It'll be 17 to go if he pits this time. Man, he really clobbered that wall. Both of them are coming in.
They're both coming in. He's just, you know, the timing on him hitting the wall, perfect both times. He just got lucky that it's not going to hurt him.
Yeah.
Mind you, only one quick repair, right?
Yeah, that is true. I
yeah.
don't believe Keith has used his yet. I know William Kirk has. William Kirk used a quick repair because they had the exact same. Well, last time the two of them got together right before they pitted, and I'm not sure if Haney used it. Oh, caution is out. That's going to be trouble.
These guys got to just get out.
Oh no. Let's see what happened.
I think Keith did the right thing there by not stopping. If he got stuck behind that pace car, he could have been in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten that before too. You get a penalty if you're sitting in the pit stall and comes out. Looks like the 5 of Dustin Phillips just pushed too hard coming out of turn 3 and got into the wall hard, spun around, and brought out the caution. That's going to really mess things up for these leaders, I think. I'm not sure. We'll see how it all pans out, but that could be trouble for these guys.
Yeah, we've seen a couple cars drive out really hard into that outside wall today. I think that's real easy to do here.
Yeah, it sure is. Like I said, with the setup being tight, a lot of drivers were complaining that it was pretty tight and pushing pretty hard. The only thing you really do there is back up your corners, and it really doesn't take that much. If your mind just lapses just a small amount, and of course mine does all the time, but your mind lapses a small amount, you're getting into that wall. So let's see how this played out here. I see Keith Haney in 4th place, and he did not take a pit.
It looks like William Kurt is in 7th, so it might play into his favor here. It looks like he probably got his tires, probably got his gas, and he is still on the lead lap. So more than likely, everyone in front of him is going to come in. He should cycle up front.
Now, I'm wondering if William Kurt got a penalty for that, though, because I know that you'll get a penalty if you're in the pit when the caution comes out. It's kind of an iRacing glitch. It'll tell you entered a closed pit, even though you didn't really enter it when it wasn't closed when you entered it.
Right, or exiting a closed pit, and that's what I said before with the pace car. So we'll see how it plays out for him here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's pitting for a penalty, so.
He wouldn't. It would probably be end the longest line. If it didn't clear it, it would be he'd have to pit under green. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens here. I hope for his sake that he did not get a penalty. I think that's a serious flaw. You know, of all the great things about this sim, there are a few that really, really irk me. And penalizing a driver for sitting in his pit stall when someone else wrecks is a pretty bad one, in my opinion.
And Keith Haney did not pit there, so...
Yeah, that's interesting. Keith did not pit. I'm wondering if it closed the pits on him or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, either am I. We'll have to see how this plays out. But he didn't stop long enough to get any gas or anything, so.
It's terrible that it works out that way. I mean, just bad timing. It's, you know, it just happens sometimes. But off that long green flag run, nobody wrecks until people are pitting, and it just kind of shuffles everyone around. I'm sure it's frustrating for the drivers, but it adds a little excitement into it, I guess.
So I just heard over the radio Keith has out of gas. He says that pit road was closed for him, and he said he should have come in anyways, but he is out of gas. So
oh no,
it looks like someone's pushing him here.
Yeah.
The problem is when you're out of gas like that, everyone behind him can't pass him, and looks like if these guys can get it around, they might be okay, but they got to keep that speed.
Yeah, the 930 of Daniel Haney. Now that's his dad. That's his dad pushing him there. The 930 of, or I'm sorry, his cousin, 930 of Daniel Haney pushing him there. But you're right. If they can't maintain speed, then that can cost the other drivers as well. Looks like they're doing not too bad. I can't see the pace car though.
Looks like they're doing 70 miles an hour. I don't know what pace speed is here.
Pace speed's 75. So now we're going to see Keith Haney duck down onto pit road.
Everyone's got to be careful not pass him as he enters here.
Yeah. So he does make it onto pit road, but I think that's going to kind of kill his chances. We only got 15 to go right now. We'll probably be 13 to go when we take the green.
Yeah, he'll be starting at the end of the lead lap there with everyone else. It's going to be a challenge for him to get up through there. He's got a fast car, but you know, by the time we take the green, he's going to have to just. It's going to be tough. Yeah,
that's just a really tough break for him. We know he's a fast driver. He's won the last 2 races here, and he won at NASCAR, I believe, in the last couple of weeks. So, really fast driver, great driver, and he won the touring series at NASCAR as well.
Yes, he did.
So tough break for him. Everybody hates to see, you know, when you don't make it on a technicality. But on the flip side, I will say he was taking a risk by pushing fuel that much. So sometimes when you take that risk, that's what happens. So we got, who is it? Joshua Butler and I believe Butch Frazier. No, just Joshua Butler waiting for a wave around. And he'll be getting that here with 1 to go. So I think we'll be 12 to go actually when we restart. And I'm sure these drivers are glad that we don't have as many cautions as we did last week, because a caution flag here takes quite a bit of time. Starting in our front row will be William Kirk and David Howard. Both have had a really strong showing here tonight. William's biggest challenger thus far has been Keith Haney, and unfortunately for Keith, he's out of it. So don't count these other guys out. David Howard, Joshua Buckley, Max Terrio, all 4, those top 4 right there, really strong drivers, and we'll see how it works out. Lights are off on the pace car, coming down the back stretch. We'll get lined up, and we'll have a 12-lap shootout here at the end.
So we'll see what William, you know, what he can make happen here. David's been quick as well, so I don't, you know, David's not going to just let him get away. But we'll see what happens here. We got about 12 laps to go.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see all these guys up front here. A lot of good, strong drivers right up front. So this is going to be an exciting finish, I think.
And you know what they say?
Yeah, let's not say it, but yeah. Pace car ducks off. Green flag is out. 12 laps to go here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Three wide going into turn one. Oh, Buckley and Terrio get together. Can they hang on? Oh, they all go around. There's the big one. Ah, well, we didn't say it, but it happened anyway. Wow, let's go have a look at the replay. You saw Buckley looking like he might have wanted to go for the inside there, kind of thinking about it, kind of not thinking about it, and he and Terrio just kind of got together. I think Buckley might have come down a little too far there. Terrio was giving him lots of space. He was clear down on the inside, and they wobble a bit, and you see the 84 Kevin O'Brien trying to get around him, just barely clipped him, and I think that was enough to send everybody around. You see the 87 of Keith Haney gets caught up in that. He was, I think the 4 Tim Lewis might have gotten slowed down. Lots of cars involved. Let's have a look from another point of view. Yeah, once it starts to go like that, it's so hard to save it. And Keith Haney hit the wall really hard. I see Terrio went around. Oh, the 4 Tim Lewis got caught up with Terrio right there at the end. Joshua Buckley, lots of drivers caught up in that. Wow.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I think it was just, you know, you got cars racing 3 wide behind a car that's spinning. There's no room to get around.
Yeah, and with only a few laps to go, a lot of these guys, they don't want to lose track position, so normally when they would come off the gas and brake a little bit, they might be thinking, let me try and get past this wreck before I get caught up in it, and sometimes that just makes it worse.
Yeah, I think that might have just been, you know, Josh racing real hard, didn't realize, you know, how much of a nose Max had on him. He definitely had the low line there, so just racing hard, maybe not concentrating on the car behind you, trying to concentrate on the car in front of you, and he kind of brought that out. He already went on the radio and said, hey, that was my bad, guys, and, you know, it happens every now and then.
Yeah, and that's the big thing, you know, if a driver's willing to just own up to, you know, hey, my bad, you know, I messed this up or whatever, and not do it every single lap, then, you know, people can see past that pretty easy. I think the worst is you get that guy who wrecks and then just leaves the race, doesn't say anything, just disappears. That angers a lot of people when that happens.
Yeah, you know, I can think that you totally ran me off the road on purpose, and I know it's 100% your fault, and if you just come in and say, dude, that's my bad, you know, we'll race again tomorrow.
Yep, exactly. And that's just testament to how much people get into this, though, how immersive it is, that you can have really strong emotions when it happens. And you know, people get angry, they'll be really happy, you know, all kinds of different emotions, but it's not like playing any standard old video game.
No, for sure, people take it seriously, and again, I promote that, you know, over at NASCAR, and you know, I know you promote it here. We want to take this stuff seriously, and anytime that people take stuff like this seriously, you know, it can bring out emotions, and you know, most of these guys might have words with each other, you know, in the heat of the moment, but you know, they're all back next week talking to each other, and that's good to see.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, I'm a little bit of a hothead myself sometimes, and I've had run-ins with drivers, and you know, immediately afterwards or within the next week, talking to them like it was nothing, and you know, right back at it. And it's good to see people are able to do that and get past it and still be that passionate about what they do. Yeah, I think some of the worst drivers I've seen in my time are the ones who, they don't have that passion. They just don't care. They just hop in. Oh, let's see if I win. They don't. I'm not going to win. Let me just wreck and leave or whatever. Those are the worst. It's the guys who really have the passion for it that it's a lot of fun to race them.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people on iRacing that treat it as a game. Hell, there's people that show up and play with a controller. I don't know how that's possible, but there are people that do it. And, that's fine. Everyone gets what they can out of iRacing. Everyone gets different things out of it. But, there's a league for you. There's the environment that you want, to get out of it. You can find the proper place. And this type of environment is just definitely not that type of environment.
Yeah, exactly. And, the environment that I look for as a driver is one where I can treat it like it's real. I can take my one night a week and I can be a pretend race car driver for the night and treat it like it's real and really try to take care of my car and try and do well for my team, even though there's not really even a team there, but it really is. It's like a form of meditation, really. You feel so great afterwards.
Yeah, and I guarantee you there isn't, a driver on the track right now that if had the opportunity, wouldn't get into a real race car and take it seriously. So that's what we look for with everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually did get to drive a car, one of those NASCAR driving experiences here a couple years ago at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and oh man, it was just amazing. But I cannot possibly imagine doing it, racing against other people side by side the way these guys do in real life. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, especially this last Sunday's race. We got drivers. Having heat stroke in the cars, being treated after the race for dehydration. It's just, people think that you get into these cars and it's, you're just turning left all day, but man, you're sweating, it's a workout, and you're losing, 20 pounds a race just getting in these cars. So it's definitely a physical activity.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Have you ever seen that? There was a special that was done on one of the science channels where I think it was Denny Hamlin. They hooked up a bunch of monitors and sensors to him during a race. Did you ever see that?
It sounds familiar.
They had his heart rate was, it was like higher than a runner's heart rate, and he lost some ridiculous amount of weight during the race. I think it was like 10 pounds or something that he lost during the race. And,
yeah.
And it really is testament to how hard it is to drive a race car. I know from the outside it looks like they're just driving in circles, but man, it's just so brutal on your body.
Yeah, they were saying, I don't remember what driver was talking, but he went through five bottles, so it's like, I think it was like 5 liters of electrolytes over the race on Sunday. And
wow.
Most of these drivers are hydrating like crazy before a race, just to get their body where it needs to be to get through one of these races. And I've read interesting articles of what happens when these guys hydrate for a race and then that race gets delayed. It just throws them out of whack.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I hadn't really even considered that, but yeah, you're right. That's got to really mess them up. Alright, so we'll be 7 laps to go when we take the green here, and we'll hope we can keep it green and have that nice little shootout there at the end. We had such a long green flag run there in the middle. Had just about 2 rounds of green flag pit stops. So front row will be William Kirk and David Howard. Just behind them will be Kevin O'Brien and James Skelton. So Max Terrio and Josh Buckley fell way back. I'm not sure what happened there. Green flag is out with 7 laps to go at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Oh, they're battling hard again going into one, side by side. William Kirk makes his way out front. David Howard looking to the outside of Kevin O'Brien to try to make the pass. Kevin down on the apron. Here comes Max Terrio on the outside of the 923 of Philip Bundick. These drivers do a pretty good job of getting all straightened out. Couple of side-by-side fighters here still. Philip Bundick, Max Terrio side by side. Kevin O'Brien trying hard to hang on to that third spot, but he's got John Fershing behind him. Fershing looks to the inside. Three wide down the backstretch. Kevin O'Brien hanging on to that third spot. Caution's out again.
Looks like we got James Haney rolling backwards here. Didn't see what happened.
Yeah, I'm looking at the replay now. I see him on the back stretch. He looks to the outside of the 8 of Jamie Christensen. Oh no, that was the 953 of Ivan Jones. He looked to the inside of James Haney and just kind of hooked him there.
Yeah, he's quick on the radio to say, hey, my bad as well. Looked like he was making some moves there, and I don't know if he just didn't realize what he was doing and kind of hooked him there, yeah.
Yeah, he just sort of, I think he just dove in a little harder than maybe he should have and didn't have time to correct it.
Yeah, it looks like he possibly locked up the brakes entering the turn, and you know as soon as you lock up those forward brakes, the car just starts driving straight and makes you look like you almost turned right, but I guarantee he didn't do that. He just kind of got in hot and locked it up.
Wow, that really sent James Haney around hard too. So, do we get a one-lap shootout, or are we going to finish under caution here?
I can never tell. We'll find out here in about 3 laps.
I think we're going to get a one-lap shootout. I might be wrong, though. Now, I think the last time Kevin O'Brien... I'm trying to look here at the pit stops. Kevin O'Brien last pitted, I want to say, on lap 45. So that does give him enough till the end. Okay, I wasn't sure if he pitted earlier than everybody or not, but it looks like he pitted the same time as everyone else. I just didn't see him come into pit lane. Well, we'll see here. If the lights go off in the pace car when we hit 3 to go, or 2 to go, we'll know we have a shootout.
They should go off right here.
Nope,
Now
lights
looks
are
like one more.
still on, but I think when we hit 2 to go, the lights will go off. which means we'll go green with 1 to go. We'll have that 1 lap shootout there at the end. Can you maybe hop down into the driver's chat room and see if they're 2 to go or 1 to go? Or 3 to go?
Sure. Yeah, it looks like they're going to get 1 hot lap. That's what they're saying.
All right, should be an exciting one. I think we're going to see no quarter given on that last lap. You got a 1 lap shootout to the end. So William Kirk leads the way. David Howard starts next to him. Kevin O'Brien starting right behind the leader, William Kirk. So good to see Kevin up there so far up front. And he did a good job holding off John Fershing. Fershing's a very strong driver. I know I have a hard time holding him off and usually am not successful trying to do that. So good job by Kevin.
So I think this is really down to 2 drivers here. I think William Kirk needs to do what he did last restart and kind of get out ahead of the madness that could happen behind him. You know, if he can do that, if caution comes out, he wins the race. If he can stay out front, cross the checker, he wins the race. So it should be an interesting restart. David's got to kind of press the issue, but being on the outside, it's going to be hard to make that pass unless he gets a really good jump off the start.
Yeah, David has to get a perfect start here. If he gets anything less than a perfect start, then he just blew his shot at the win, because he's only got 1 shot to do it. Unless William Kirk makes a mistake. But William Kirk has not made a whole lot of mistakes tonight, so I wouldn't be relying on that too much. So here we go, getting ready for our 1 lap shootout to the end for our final race of the regular season mid-2015 Xfinity Series. After this, we'll go into our 4-race chase.
They're bunching up here.
Yeah, they sure are. Ooh, 84 gets a little bit loose. He kind of got tapped there. And William Kirk makes his way out front. I think he's pretty much safe here, unless the 84 or the 7 can get up to him. Kevin O'Brien is on the move. Coming down the backstretch, he's going to look to the inside of David Howard. Maybe not. Risky move here at the end. Oh, he gets into the back end of David a little bit.
Well, it's sliding around that corner, man.
Here they come around the final turn for the regular season.
Oh, Kevin. Race for 3rd.
Oh, and it looks like Fershing was able to clear Kevin for 3rd place. Not sure. Yeah, I think Fershing got around him right there at the last second.
Yeah.
So William Kirk comes back strong. Hasn't been with us for a while. Comes back and knocks it out of the park. Great job, William Kirk.
Yeah, he's excited about that one on the radio. He's happy about that win. He's just got to find himself some bricks to kiss now.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
There'll be a big glass of milk somewhere.
Excellent job, William Kirk. Congratulations. He's going to come down and burn up some rubber here right on those bricks. Tear the car up a little bit. Why not? Race is over.
Yeah, whatever. We don't have to bring it anywhere next week, man. Blow it up.
I tell you what, I am so awful at burnouts. I don't get too much opportunity to do them, and on the rare chances that I do, I usually do about what he just did, which is just plow into the wall.
The secret is you got to roll that brake bias all the way to the front.
Ah.
Can't do that in our setups, though.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, you ready to drop in the 9?
Yeah, I think, well, let's go ahead and do it. William Kirk, man, what an amazing comeback. You haven't been with us for quite a while, and you come back and really show your stuff. Tell us about your race.
Man, I finally won on my home track. Yeah, buddy. Finally. Oh, God. Yeah, dude. Whenever I said I was going to win this thing, I was joking because, I mean, I love this place, and I've been coming here a lot, practiced on it a lot, and it's incredible, but I always have, like, a 4th or 5th place car. I never have the winning car, and I've just been lacking that little bit, and David Howard has been teaching me how to drive this track since 2011. Like, he has been giving me lessons every time we come here, instructs me all the time, all through practice, because he knows how much I want to win here. And he's the master at this place. David Howard is the best there is here, so learning from him is the way to go. And oh God, that was awesome. Just riding second behind Keith the whole race, and I felt like I had something for him, but I didn't want to really go for a pass until that last run, so I just chilled behind him, and he got in the wall, and I thought I had it, and then that caution came out, and the master was second to me, and it was awesome we were able to hang on. That was incredible.
Yeah, can you talk about running around in second behind Keith? We noticed that you look like you were better in the long run. You know, after 10 laps or so on those tires, your lapse times started to get much better than Keith's. By 2/10, 3/10 each lap. But he would pull away from you on fresh tires. Were you kind of letting him and then kind of building up to him, or were you just better on the long run?
Yeah, I was extremely, like, once again, David taught me how to do this, extremely conservative on my tires. I was backing into the corners way late, waiting on the throttle when I was turning in, so I would hit that apex sooner, so I could just kind of float off, and the handling never went away. The car felt the same on the first lap of a run as it did on the last lap of a run, and I didn't hear that out of anyone else. I don't know how I managed to do that. Yeah, I let him get out in front of me, and I'm not going to lie, whenever he got 2 seconds on me after that second stop, I didn't think it was over, but I thought that I was going to really have to wear my tires out to catch him back up, but then I noticed after, like you said, about 10 laps, I was catching him, and I was still conserving, and so I was like, I'll just keep conserving, and then I was clicking off 2-3 tenths a lap, and I think, I don't know, he just got nervous or something because he started hitting the wall every exit of turn 2, so just kind of waited and pitted, and we had both used our resets because we collided going into one when I was trying to pass him one time, so I knew he didn't have a reset, and he was tore all the heck, and that caution came out, and like I said, I knew I had Keith beat because he ran out of gas, but David scared me. But just conserving the tires and just floating through is how I managed to do that, because I noticed I had a really good car on long runs.
Yeah, we saw that collision you guys had early on. It kind of looked like you just went for the same piece of track and both of you got damaged. Were you nervous after you took that quick repair, worried that something else was going to happen to you, or you just kind of went out and go for it?
I was a little scared when it first happened. That was the first thing that came to mind. I was like, oh God, I used my quick repair. Like, crap, this is not good. But then I honestly thought we were going to go green the rest of the way. And I knew I had a faster car than Keith. And I was like, well, if I can eventually get by him, there weren't a lot of lap cars. So I figured if I could get by myself and there weren't any cautions, that wouldn't really matter. So I was scared at first, but then after I thought about it and I came down, there was no question I was going to use it, because I figured it was going to go green the whole way. And if you have nose damage here, as you know, arrow as this track is, I knew I was screwed. So I really didn't have a choice, and it worked out. So it was awesome.
All right, well, excellent. Great seeing you back. I hope we can see you more. Get in here whenever you can. We know you can't make it all the time, but really good to have you back, and good to see you bust out a checkered flag right here for the first time we've seen you in a while. So congratulations, William.
Thank you, sir. I plan to be here all next season and try to win hopefully the rest of this season. So I'm definitely excited for it. Thanks, guys.
Excellent. We look forward to it. We'll see you hopefully next week at Auto Club.
Hopefully. See you, sir.
All right, so next up, second place finish was David Howard. Let's have a word with him. David, this is Jeremy Patterson in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4, I got you, Jeremy.
Great race the whole time. Tell us about your battle there at the end with the winner. He said you taught him everything he knows.
Yeah, I don't know about that, you know, that my young man's fast. I'm just excited for him. You know, William Kirk's been my buddy for a long, long time, and man, I'm excited to see him win at his home track, so that's really, really cool. I just wish I had a 5-lap run there. You know, I felt like I could have definitely got by him, you know, if it would have either stayed green or instead of just a 1-lap dash there at the end, if we would have had 5-6 laps to go, I'd have definitely got by him. But I'm excited for him, and excited for my buddy Kevin O'Brien, man. How about that guy? He was up there and he was trying to give the positions away, and we told him, said, buddy, you know, you're always nice and giving them away. Get up here and race. And man, he was sure fast. Kind of hated to see him fall off at the end there.
Yeah, he was really fast at the end.
Yeah, he was mentioning, William Kirk was mentioning that, you know, he liked the long run. He was kind of conserving his stuff. Were you running the same type of strategy that race?
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of always my strategy, Mike. I always take it easy. Them first 5 to 10 laps on the tires, that's the most critical, because your tires are building up heat from being fresh tires. You know, they put them on at a lower temperature, and then as they get hot, they expand. So you want to let them expand before you start trying to slide them and tear them up. So that's kind of always my strategy, is to let the guys go by that are trying too hard in them early laps, you know.
Well, David, I gotta say, I'm glad seeing you up there. It was fun watching you have that 1-lap shootout for the win. I do also want to say thank you for your paint job, man, for promoting the league, promoting our broadcast and everything. That's really cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, Jeremy. I think it looks rather pretty cool on the track, and you know, anything we can do to help you guys out, and it looks like things have been working, and hopefully we'll continue to get new guys out there, you know.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have put in a lot of effort to get it to where it was. I definitely can't take credit for all of it, so we do appreciate it. And congratulations again on your second place win. And I have uploaded the points, and you finished second overall in the season, which definitely puts you into the chase, and you get a bonus point for your 1 win there. So congratulations on that, David, and we'll see you next week at Auto Club for the first of 4 chase races.
Hey, thanks a lot, Jeremy, man. Thanks for all you guys do, and any of my fans out there watching. I got quite a few that either are watching live or will go back and watch. I want to say thank you to those guys that, you know, take time out of their day to watch me sim race, so it's pretty cool. Thanks.
All right, thank you, David. All right, third place, we got the number 15 car, John Fershing Jr. Congratulations on that. Man, what a battle there on that last lap. Tell us how you got around Kevin.
Oh, that was crazy. I just I blew it through 1 and 2, like I pretty much had the whole race, and then so I had a little bit of a gap. So when I got that big run off of 4, I didn't have to lift, and it just, you know, a little bit of draft help, and it just sucked me right down the front straight. It was pretty cool.
So going into the chase next week at Auto Club, man, what do you think of going into that track? Obviously a little bit different little bit different than what we race here tonight. But what are your thoughts going into that?
I love Auto Club. Auto Club is my second favorite track in Michigan, so I am looking forward to it. Darlington and Bristol kind of scared the daylights out of me, but I am looking forward to Auto Club.
Yeah, Darlington and Bristol definitely give a lot of drivers a lot of trouble. Bristol I'm not so good at. The only advice I can give from Darlington is learn how to do a little diamond cut on that first track. Kind of hit the apex in turn 1, go clear up against the wall, hit the apex coming back down out of turn 2. Darlington is hard. I have the weirdest thing where I'm good at the tracks that everyone else is bad at, and then I'm really bad at every other track. So I hope to see you do well there. I hope to see you do well through the whole chase. You did finish 3rd in points for the season, so congratulations on that, John. And with your 1 win that you have, you'll get a bonus point going into the chase.
That's awesome. Thank you very much, guys. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, thanks for joining us, John.
Thank you.
All right, so let's have a look at our final results for the race here. We have William Kirk won the race. He led 15 laps out of 60. David Howard Jr., John Fershing, Kevin O'Brien narrowly came in 4th. We almost got to interview him tonight. 5th place, Joshua Buckley, William Long, Tim Lewis, Max Terrio, Daniel Haney, Joshua Butler, Philip Bundick, James Skelton, James Haney, Jamie Christensen, Kevin Cochran, Butch Frazier, Dustin Phillips, Ivan Jones, Keith Haney, Andrew Packer, Sean Butler, and Mike Mahoney.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week, man. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be Red Light's first chase for the Cup, and hey, I like Auto Club. I think it's a fast track. I do like Michigan as well, but we should see some big speeds and a lot of movement on the track. So.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I don't have a graphic to throw up on the screen here, but I do have our points already uploaded and figured out for our regular season. So I'm going to go ahead and read you through our top 8 drivers who made the chase in the order that they finished. Max Terrio finished 1st. Congratulations to him on that. David Howard Jr. 2nd. John Fershing Jr. 3rd. Sean Butler 4th. Tied with Keith Haney for 4th. Joshua Buckley 6th. Timothy Lewis 7th. Nate LaFleur 8th. And that rounds out your chase field. So congratulations to those 8 drivers. And we look forward to see them battle it out. And you can see there our season schedule. Next week we go to Auto Club, followed by Darlington, then Charlotte, then Bristol. So good mix-up of tracks there. It's not like if you're really good at one kind of track that you're going to have an advantage here. And so just once again, reminder, next week, July 27th, we will go live at 8:30 here for our broadcast. That'll be at Auto Club Speedway. And, you know, we said the top 8 drivers making the chase. All these drivers are still going to be showing up and still racing. So if you have a driver you like to watch, he's not out of it. He's still racing, and you know, he could get a win there, and that'd be exciting to see. I'd like to see him mix it up. Right now we've had 8 races and 6 different winners, so that's always good to see too.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it just shows the level of competition within these drivers, and yeah, man, I think it's going to be an exciting chase. Can't wait to see how it plays out.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm excited to run the chase over at Navscar too. So we'll hopefully run the chase. I'm right at the cusp, so I may or may not make it in, but it's still exciting either way. Remind our drivers. I want to remind our drivers and our viewers to go to redlightleague.com. That's where we post the schedule. The standings for this race are already up there, so you can see the standings and results from this race and a couple other things up there. Be sure to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Go to our Facebook page and click like. We put out some announcements every now and then, some pictures and whatnot, some fun stuff. And that will do it for our broadcast for tonight here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Once again, congratulations to William Kirk and congratulations to all 8 of our chase drivers. And we will see you next Monday right here at the same time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Good night, everybody.